What's up, guys? Miss Bass here, back with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes commentary video, and today I am happy to be bringing you guys some Nightsisters gameplay video. That's right, I finally got the Nightsisters sent to my account, and so I got a chance to gear them all up to Gear 11. I didn't do any of this testing at Gear 12. And I also kept the Zeta off of Mother Talzin so that you could see how much of a difference that Zeta really made. The first battle that I did was against some Phoenix. It's not necessarily a squad that a whole lot of people will be running in arenas, however you do get to kind of see where they stand defensively, which isn't very well against the Nightsisters because, well, let's just put it this way. They can't cleanse very well without Kanan, so they kind of got decimated. Plus, the only way to get rid of Plague is to heal up to full health. And unless you're healing up to full health, you're not going to be getting rid of the Plague, which doesn't happen all that often with Phoenix. So this battle was very one-sided. As you can see, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity between the stuns and everything else for the Phoenix squad to actually inflict any damage on my Nightsisters. So I can say with a very high degree of confidence that Nightsisters are actually going to be arena viable. Between the Spirit and the Zombie, they actually gain a very, very large amount of arena viability. When the Nightsisters were first revealed, when all the reworks were revealed, I initially was very disappointed, I guess, to put it lightly. In fact, I kind of was watching Reddit around the same time that all this happened, that all of the Nightsisters were revealed, and unfortunately, we all know what else happened around that same time period, and Reddit was kind of a whirlwind of emotions. And at the same time out there on Reddit, there was a video that somebody made, and I'll link it in the description below, also a card right here. And it was a parody video. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen those Hitler reacts, where it's like that scene from Hitler, you know, in the bunker, and people will put clever subtitles on the videos. And I saw that video, and it pretty well summed up my opinion of, or my first initial reaction of the Nightsister video, which is one of the main reasons I didn't make any videos of the Nightsister reworks. Plus, I was working all weekend, so it was a very, very long weekend. In fact, tomorrow is the 10th day straight that I'll have worked. So, between all of that, I haven't really had a whole lot of time to dedicate, and in fact, it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning right now, and I should be sleeping. But instead, I'm making this video because my faith in the Nightsisters was mostly restored. Now, does that change the fact that I'm still very, very, shall I say, disappointed with the Asajj Ventress rework? Personally, I think that it was a cop-out. Okay, maybe not the best choice of words, but I really was not impressed with the Asajj Ventress rework. I've been asking for an Asajj Ventress rework for a year and a half. You can go back on the forums to May 2016 when I made a post recommending changes to Asajj Ventress to make her better. None of those changes were made. In fact, really no significant changes were made to Ventress. Only minor changes were made to Ventress. She gets defense down on her AoE, which, let's face it, we never freaking use anyway, because it, oh yeah, it does like a 10,000 damage maybe, and that's if she's got a lot of damage multipliers, offense up, and maybe crits, right? Normally it's only doing like 6,000 to maybe 7,000, and let's talk about how really it's only good in PvE arenas, where her unique is really only good for PvE arenas. In arena PvP, her unique is largely, I didn't really see any. I even have it Zeta on this account, and all this gameplay, Asajj Ventress is maxed. Aside from gear, she's only gear 11, but all of her abilities are maxed. She has all of her Zetas, everything. So you can see how little of an effect her unique Zeta actually has on her ability to do significant amount of damage. So aside from the defense down on her AoE that, let's face it, you never effing use in Arena, her basic stun chance got increased from 35 to 50%, which is still pretty weak. Considering all the Rogue One characters got at least a 70% chance to inflict negative status effects with their basic attacks, I feel like Asajj probably should have gotten a 70% chance to inflict stun. I mean, I understand R2 only an 80% chance, and he's a legendary character, and Asajj Ventress, you can farm her from the Arena store, but still, come on. If you aren't going to make any significant changes to Asajj Ventress's heal ability, which, let's face it, was way infinitely better before they quote-unquote fixed the glitch and took away the fact that it healed all of her allies. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could have done so much more with Asajj to not just make her good in Nightsister squads. Because, let's face it, we all... That's my dog. We all wanted Asajj to be good in general. We all wanted to be able to use Asajj in separatist groups. We all wanted to be able to use Asajj in, oh, I don't know, any other dark side squad, but instead she's only really good in Nightsister squads still. So, my Asajj rant aside, going back to the gameplay here, you can see that Plague is a killer. Plague, between circumventing protection, is absolutely insane. Here, this is the first gameplay that I wanted to include. I definitely wanted to include some losses here because obviously when you have them maxed to the brim, Zetas all over the place, and you've spent basically the equivalent of, I don't know, half a year's paycheck on your Nightsisters to get them boosted to this ungodly level, of course you're going to be able to mow over damn near everything in arenas. This, I wanted to show you that while they are good, I mean, you'll be able to watch all the gameplay from other players, everybody else, everybody and their mom is going to show how good Nightsisters are. But I do want to show that they can still lose, especially without Mother Talzin Zeta, because Mother Talzin Zeta, holy crap, that thing is on fire. Now, so I didn't have a whole lot of opportunities to fight against a really good Empire squad to collect. I mean, I only had literally this evening to record gameplay, so it wasn't like I could really coordinate as much as I really would have liked to with the other game changers, especially Arnold, because I know that he is huge, heavy into Empire. I really would have liked to fight an Empire squad, maybe a really good Thrawn lead, and fight somebody that has really good mods, because let's face it, Arnold has some damn good mods on his alt account, on his test account here. So I really would have liked to test against his Empire squad maybe later this week. I'll try and coordinate maybe this weekend to try and collect some gameplay of Arnold against his Empire squad so that I can really get some gameplay there. But one of the main squads that I did have trouble with, without Mother Talzin Zeta, mind you, was Commander Luke Skywalker lead with Barriss, and General Kenobi lead with Barriss are two really difficult to beat squads with Mother Talzin and the Nightsisters, mainly because Barriss has the ability to heal, which obviously cleanses plagues. So that is going to be one of the squads that will pretty easily, I think, beat the Nightsisters. The main thing that you have to do is work around the zombie. As you can see in the gameplay, both defensively and offensively, as long as you can just remove the taunt, then the zombie has a very slow speed. And when I'm playing this squad, I got the zombie up to 200 speed, so that's another thing to keep in mind. I was playing this with a 200 speed zombie, which that I added, I think it had to have been like 85, 90 speed to it to get to 200 speed, and I was still having trouble keeping taunt on the zombie. So on paper, yes, the zombie looks overpowered, but I think it's still very balanced because it is a very slow character that doesn't have a whole lot of turn movement. Also, there is no protection gain for that zombie, so while it does revive at full health, it's easier to kill. I think it doesn't have a whole lot of defense. So yeah, you basically just have to fracture the zombie or buff immunity. Commander Luke Skywalker is going to be invaluable when fighting against the Nightsisters, so that is one thing to keep in mind. And you can tell from this gameplay right here that I don't have a healer, and so the plague is spreading like wildfire amongst my team and absolutely decimating me. Like I barely killed 2 characters. And as you can see right there, Mother Talzin's Zeta on a leadership. Look, all those Nightsisters came back because they killed somebody with a basic attack. Killing with a basic attack is insane. And then, obviously, Annihilate doesn't work against the zombie. So, obviously, no point in annihilating the zombie. That was Arnold's Mother Talzin right there. 134 speed added to that. Holy crap. That is going to be the killer. If you want to run Nightsisters, one way to ensure, well, almost guarantee victory is to get a blazing fast Mother Talzin. If you can get your Mother Talzin fast as heck, then she is going to get that plague off fast. That is her opening ability, opening move. That is going to be a showstopper. Get that plague out, get it out fast, because plague is insane, guys. Plague is what makes the Nightsisters tick. I really don't see Nightsisters being successful basically in Arena at all. No way, no how, no where, no matter what squad you build around them without Mother Talzin in the squad. Now that brings me to another point. Are the Nightsisters standalone going to be worth a hoot? Well, I can tell you that the zombie may or may not. I don't know if it's... I couldn't really... I don't know if the zombie is worth gearing up, especially if you've already been working on Baze or Shore Trooper. The zombie is very slow. The zombie, yes, taunts all the time, taunts constantly, but unless you have... I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe could be good, but it's squishy. Once you get rid of that protection, it really dies kind of fast. So, I don't know. Maybe the zombie is good. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some more testing with the zombie in another squad. Maybe try the zombie in my Threxus squad instead of General Kenobi. But the zombie doesn't really do much to help its teammates. The only way the zombie is really good is with a Nightsister squad, so that you can use its basic after you've Zetaed Mother Talzin's leader ability to call another Nightsister from the quote-unquote graveyard, to borrow a term for mobile gamer, and really do significant damage. You know, calling in either Old Daka for the stuns or Asajj Ventress for the bonus damage, or even the Spirit for that wicked damage, or even Mother Talzin to inflict another plague if the target already has plague. So I think the zombie is more of a Nightsister only kind of character. However, the Spirit's kit is incredible. I really think that the Spirit is going to be one of those characters that might be able to flow into other squads and really have an impact. Between being able to strip buffs and stun with the special, gaining foresight at the beginning of an engagement, plus ignoring protection whenever it has foresight, I could definitely see the Spirit being a very effective character, especially on squads that give out foresight. So putting her on a squad with General Kenobi, with the ability to potentially, you know, I know it's RNG based, but potentially gain protection, or sorry, evasion or foresight. Sorry, gosh, all over words here. Gain foresight after General Kenobi uses his basic attack or at the end of any turn. So I could definitely see the Spirit being effective on squads other than Nightsisters. But obviously, you know, being a Nightsister, always going to excel on a Nightsister squad, especially under Mother Talzin. That goes without saying. It's probably, you know, I'm beating the dead horse at this point. So let's see. So obviously you want to get a fast Mother Talzin, but if you want to beat the Nightsisters, one of the best ways to do it is make sure you got OG Han Solo. That's right, Rancor Han is still going to be one of the best characters in the game. Surprise, surprise. He's been in arenas now for the last couple, well, since his rework, honestly. Because let's face it, that Zeta is insane. Being able to, number one, double tap with his basic is crazy. And even without the Zeta, being able to ignore taunts, so you're completely disregarding the zombies taunt right out the bat, and you stun Mother Talzin. That is going to be the way to beat Nightsisters. Stun Mother Talzin so she can't get that plague off, especially if you're running Threxus like you saw me use. Personally, Threxus is my favorite arena squad still. I have gone back to using Threxus. I tried the Commander Luke Skywalker thing for a little bit, got tired of it, said F it. I'm going Threxus because the game is boring at this point, and I'm hoping that Nightsisters breathe some newfound life into this game because, let's face it, I think all of us are tired of Commander Luke Skywalker absolutely just decimating the arenas. It's almost boring at this point, and so RNG based. If you're running Commander Luke Skywalker, fighting against Commander Luke Skywalker, it's so RNG based, it's not even effing funny. And let's face it, Nightsisters not being so RNG based, or still having a little bit of RNG, but still not as much. I feel like Nightsisters finally give the dark side something to look forward to. Unfortunately, it is the Nightsisters, and it isn't really like a very broad faction like the Separatists or whatever. But I'm hoping that Nightsisters still shine. You know, obviously this gameplay I feel is a fairly good representation of how Nightsisters will perform against the current meta. You do have some good squads that I'm fighting against. Obviously, a lot of these other players that I'm fighting against have very good mods on this account. I mean, we have pretty much unlimited crystals, so we can go and farm those mod packs day in, day out, and just constantly be farming for those you know, 10 to 18, 10 to 20 speed secondary mods. So obviously you saw Arnold's 135 speed added to his Mother Talzin, and that was on a slower character. He could have added more speed to a character with higher base speed because he used speed set with that on his Mother Talzin. So that is pretty insane. It's and so when people make the comment of, well, of course your squad is doing in crazy amounts of damage because you've got like added 100 speed on everybody. Well, when you're fighting in an arena where everybody's got 90 to 110 speed on all of their characters, and you're running 90 to 110 speed on your characters, it's pretty well evenly matched. It's not like I'm in this arena with 110, 120, 130 speed on every dang character, which I don't, running against characters that only have, or arena squads that only have 30, 40, 50 secondary speed on every character. I'm fighting apples to apples here. So if your arena squad is only going to have 40, 50, 60 secondary speed on characters against other squads that only have 40, 50, 60 speed on their characters, your arena battles are going to look very similar to this. The speed gain between the two teams is going to be relatively equal to what you're seeing here. So when you make that comment, you're not really taking into account the fact that I'm fighting equivalent mod sets. So that, you know, just take that out of the picture here. So this video is already crazy long. Here you can see Mother Talzin's Zeta. I didn't really get a whole lot of chances to use it because I was trying to let them die, but they just wouldn't die. So and so that's the other thing, dying. Asajj Ventress is supposed to be stacking that unique whenever anything dies. And with the rate at which the Nightsister zombie dies, I would have expected to see Asajj gaining a little bit more offense since it's supposed to stack fairly quickly. But I mean, here, okay, Okay, I didn't use any friggin' attacks. Okay, so maybe if Asajj comes back around and uses a basic, and not when it's convoluted with a bunch of other characters, I might be able to actually see how much damage she's actually... Here we go. Ready? 8,600 against... Yeah, granted that was old Ben with defense, but I really am not impressed with Asajj. I keep going back to this, but it's, you know, when you wait a year and a half for a rework and it comes out like this, you just can't help but be disappointed. But at any rate, guys, I gotta get out of here. It's late. I'm rambling. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, smash that thumbs up button. It helps me out. It helps me out a lot. I know that I have been absent for about the last week and a half, but let's face it, I was pretty depressed about the Nightsister rework on first look, and I didn't really feel like making a video. Plus, I'm going on day 10 of working, and I didn't really feel like making videos. I apologize. I'll make it up to you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.